my god, this is so embarrassing.
I'm on the pursuit of happiness and I know.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Buenos tardes, everyone. Hi, if you guys don't know me by now, my name is the Alicia C, or I go by Alicia on the internet here. But today, it's gonna be an exposing video, kind of, for myself anyway. I wanted to get into a topic that's like very personal, very personal. I actually am not even sure why I'm doing this, but I felt like people needed to know. Good news. Today's topic is going to be on feminine health and some of my favorite feminine health essentials and things that I did to bring myself up to speed post-relationship. I've been all over the place these days, like as far as information and research goes. I read a book about happiness. I found some new content creators that I really like that I didn't know about. Well, they're new to me. One, her name is Shelby Ellimac, I believe is what she goes by on YouTube. She makes all these videos just spreading knowledge in general about conspiracy theories and, you know, controversial topics that most of us would like to believe or may not like to believe are true. So if you haven't heard of her, I recommend you go check her out. Also, there's another YouTuber that I watch. Yes, Charisma and Cole. They're another set of content creators that I really like. It's a really great channel for interabled relationships. If you ever wanted to know what true love was like, you should definitely go check out their channel. They're really inspirational. Also, guys, like Bobby Tarantino 3 came out. Call Me If You Get Lost came out. Freaking Tory Lanez is dropping something every week. I can't keep up anymore. There's so much stuff going on. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I guess we'll just get into the video. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. There was a point in my life, as you guys know, I mentioned in a video that I posted about a couple weeks ago now, but I was talking about, you know, leaving old relationships and, you know, just, you know, trying to be the best person that you can be. I'm nervous about this because I've never exposed this much information about myself on the internet, and honestly, I have no regrets in doing this or sharing this information because it's normal and it should help a lot of people. But yeah, basically I want to talk to you guys about the yoni, and I'll put a definition in here regarding what that term means. I'm sure you guys have seen it a lot on Instagram maybe, or like you've heard it from, like, if you're into holistic health, you would know what I'm talking about. But I am a big cheerleader for holistic health and natural practices to heal ailments. Me specifically, I was not feeling quite myself, and I was struggling with just imbalance in general for a while because I was in unhealthy, toxic relationships, and I just was not taking care of myself the way that I should. So I guess what you guys would want to know is, what's a yoni, maybe? So like a yoni is actually a sacred term for your lady bits.
Little bit.
It's a special term for your lady parts. That's what your yoni is. It's your cookie, it's your Venus flytrap, it's your snatch, your cooch, whatever you want to call her. But it is a sacred term, and I did some research on it too, just so you guys can have a better understanding of it. It's a term expressing a woman's sacred divinity. It has translations in Sanskrit, and its origins are based in Hinduism as well. And it has Hebrew origins as well. In Hebrew, it means gift of God. And it doesn't really say what it means other than like a sacred feminine space in other languages, but universally that's what the term means. So where did these practices originate? Obviously, now that I've explained it, it came from the eastern part of the world. It comes with ancient practices that have been practiced in the East for generations, for hundreds and thousands of years. I'm not sure exactly where the first example of this is found in a historical context, but I do have knowledge from some educated sources. I actually had a Yoni practitioner who educated me on some of this information as well. And she did a lot of her training. I'm not really sure where she was trained, and I know that sounds bad, but she's certified. So I wasn't just getting my stuff off the street, you know what I mean? Like, this lady actually knows what she's doing. She's literally a certified herbalist and a doctor that went to train herself for years on how to effectively treat people holistically. Western culture, or practices that originate from the Western side of the world, tend to have an ideology or a mindset to that as long as we treat the symptoms of whatever this issue is, then everything's fine. We can continue to make money off of this reoccurring problem. That's at least how I see the situation. Western medicine has made so many advances and contributions to medicine in general, and we should be thankful, if you're from the Western side of the world, that there have been so many technological advances and just health information in general that's been discovered. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm against Western practices, but as a female, I don't feel as if our health is necessarily prioritized, especially for people of color. And I'm sure this is a topic that has been talked about in a lot of other digital spaces. It's kind of like our DNA. A lot of our energy is stored in this area, and it's what makes us women biologically. So I did some research, and a long time ago, I was experiencing an imbalance, which I'm not ashamed to say, because it happens all the time to women in general. And at the time, I was doing some things, girl. We're not gonna talk about that, but anyway. Yes, I take care of my health very much. I take it very seriously. But yes, how did I stumble on the origins of the Yoni and Yoni practices, things like Yoni steaming and Yoni Pearls? I stumbled upon it actually by word of mouth. I don't even really know how this came to me now that I think about it. I was actually just in discussion with somebody that was very close to me. I was speaking with this person, and they were telling me about all these wonderful things that have happened and how great they feel doing X, Y, and Z, and applying these practices to themselves. So I'm overly inquisitive. I'm very curious. I love to experiment with things. It's probably a terrible trait to have because it gets you into trouble, but I did it anyway. And I found that it was a great benefit. A lot of people really don't know that this exists and that it can help with so many different things. So getting back to this, what are the health benefits and what specifically am I talking about? So in the terms of, using Yoni Pearls or Yoni steaming, there are tons of beneficial benefits. A few to name specifically. When you use holistic medicine to treat yourself, specifically the health benefits of these two Eastern practices are that they can remove blockages. They balance your hormones if you're a woman, because cortisol is a terrible hormone. It's the hormone that releases stress, or that stress is responsible for in your body. Overproduction of that can easily throw things off balance. It can also be the foods that you eat. It could be not getting enough sleep. It could be anything really. It could be not making wise decisions when you're in a relationship, etc. So you want to be careful, but I'm saying all of this to say that these things are extremely common, and we always think that they can't be fixed, or that you have to jump through a million different hoops in order to adjust things. Another benefit would be that these practices, they allegedly increase fertility, emotional healing, which I can testify to. I definitely feel way different since I started using these holistic practices to address my healing needs. And it also can rid the body of disease. The purge. I don't know if you guys have heard or seen anything about this online, on social media, on the internet in general, but I first off would like to say that I am a huge fan of Dr. Pimple Popper, and I told you guys I'm naturally curious. So I had to see for myself, aside of hearing all these testimonies online about women just supernaturally conceiving children after detoxing their bodies, you know, getting rid of toxic chemicals, fibroids, cysts, malignant issues in general that existed within their body. I had to try this stuff for myself. I have used both of these methods, and I firmly stand by both of them. Now that we've talked about what is a yoni and, you know, health benefits, why should you purge specifically for Yoni Pearls or detox in general, whether it's Yoni Pearls or Yoni steaming? I believe that you should purge because the woman's womb or her sacred feminine space holds a lot of energy, okay? If you guys if you guys are active on social media like me, I know you guys always see these toxic posts about what so-and-so did to me, and you left me with all this baggage and blah, blah, blah. Just a whole soap opera. Like, we always see all of these posts about who done it and who did what and why and what that did to the person. That's a prime example of why you should consider doing this. If you haven't done it before, I definitely understand. I was specifically scared of trying these pearls for a long time just because I was like, why would I ever do that? Like, what sense does that make? Like, it sounds dangerous. And then I started doing more intense research. And then I started off with steaming. So steaming is actually my preferred method of detoxing my body. I benefit a lot from steaming. It keeps my skin glowy. It balances out my hormones because I live a life that produces a lot of stress. Or at least I did in the past. It made me feel more confident. I got to connect with my inner self when it came to not only my body, but just my feelings and my emotions. So I prefer steaming, but since I tried the pearls post-steaming, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to discover. You know what I mean? Purging using the pearls, it can be scary. Like, if you have never tried this before, it's gonna look foreign and it's gonna be crazy. Speaking on the pearls specifically, what you're actually doing is you're taking these holistic balls. They're kind of like wrapped in like somewhat of a cheesecloth or like a natural organic fabric. Comes in like a little package, like in a little plastic baggie or Ziploc, whatever, however they ship it to you, based off of the company that you choose to work with or practitioner that you choose to work with. Which, by the way, if you are looking for a holistic yoni practitioner, you can actually take that term, holistic yoni practitioner, or just yoni practitioner near me, and Google, and it should, you know, make the available results known to you of who you can speak with or go have a consultation with about your needs and concerns, and they should be able to help you holistically. They're basically made out of little bits. It's made out of several different herbs, and you take that and you stick it up your cooter and you just wait for everything to fall out of you. Again, this depends on your practitioner or the person that you're sourcing these things from, which you're going to be careful. The internet can be dangerous with these things. I've heard stories about people ordering something that is not completely organic. So you want to make sure that you're reading the ingredients, always read the testimonies, make sure that you have tangible evidence of its capabilities before you start using these on your own. Typically, the herbs that are in these pearls are mother's worth, sephora, saffora, or saffron. Yeah, saffara. Like, I think it's like saffron or a derivative of it. Angelica, osthol, burniol, mugswort, myrrh, and or frankincense. Those are like ancient herbs. When did I start detoxing? I started detoxing like, I want to say it's been at least 2 years now, maybe longer, but I didn't really start like trusting myself with detoxing until like, yeah, about 2 years ago. But for me in my area, I did not know that this existed. Like, until I started really taking my health and my faith and my just like confidence seriously, I never knew that any of this stuff existed. So it really helped me a lot, and I've benefited so much from just spending alone time in my sacred space to cleanse and to heal things. And honestly, I feel so great. Like, after this purge, I mean, during it, I was very emotional. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I would say that's one of the side effects. If you're like me, one of the side effects would definitely be like emotional release, because I was crying and I didn't even really know why. Mind you, I did lose a relative, a family member. I lost both my grandparents last year at the start of the pandemic around the same time. So that was really hard, and I've been healing a lot from that pain. But I remember when I started this detox, the first time I did it, and I just cried like for no reason. I was so emotional. I was like just in my feelings about everything, and I was like, oh my God, why do I feel like this? It was the herbs. I was releasing years of trauma just that was stored up in my womb space. And I'm really thankful because now I'm feeling more like myself again. And now, new snatch, who this?
I've upgraded.
Trigger warning, if you guys are sensitive, you may want to click off of this video, okay? This is going to be graphic content, very graphic content. I honestly don't even know if I even want to show this to you guys, not because I'm ashamed, but it's just like, it's really out there, okay? Honestly, my purge wasn't that much different from anyone else. I was honestly really hoping that I was gonna get to the gooky stuff, to like the really sick and disgusting foul things. That's what I was hoping to show you guys. But it was my gross, but it wasn't anything monumental. And they give you 3 pearls in a bag, or they're in separate bags, but essentially they're 3 individual pearls, and that equals 1 detox. And if you're sensitive or new to the detox, you want to start with 1 pearl, so that way you can see if you are sensitive or not, like if there's going to be any irritation, if you're going to be uncomfortable, etc. So I tried the one, and the one honestly didn't do very much. I mean, I kind of just stuck it up there. I was like, well, okay, nothing's going on. Like, what's happening? It was uncomfortable though, and honestly, I had to fight with it until I learned that to insert it, you don't want to just stick it up there. Like, if you have a suppository pump or a tampon is the easiest way to put it up there. So if you want to insert it via tampon, you basically take a tampon. I don't know if you can see this, right? You take a tampon and then you just push the cotton out of here. Okay, now you have an empty tampon holder, and this is where you're going to put the string from the Yoni pearl. I'm sorry guys, I used mine, so I don't have any more right now, but you're going to put the string from the pearl down in here and pull the string down so the ball is inside of the tampon. Please untie the string. I've only seen a couple of horror stories about people having things get stuck up there, but it's really the same thing as putting in a tampon. It's just a little ball, and then you pull it out later. So, okay, you guys probably want to know the tea. Okay, so the first time I did it, like with the first pearl in 24 hours, it was weird. It was like uncomfortable. I'm not even gonna hold you. It didn't feel like super dry or anything like that, but essentially overnight it did get dry. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Like, anytime you're detoxing anything, you need a lot of water to help like push things out of your body. Trigger warning, it's about to get ugly. I got hip and I started drinking more water. So when it happened the first time, the first night I purged. Okay, guys. So guys, when I tell you, she threw up. She was like, she threw it up, girl. And I honestly was like, I thought it was gonna be bad, but it really wasn't. Honestly, in comparison to a lot of other purges that I have seen on YouTube, which you guys are welcome to search, go ahead and hit that search bar, hit Yoni Purge, Yoni Purge results. Okay, there's some foul things out there. Felt so much better after like having that happen. This was on like the third or fourth day. But yeah, it was crazy, bro. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And initially when the first thing came out, the first bundle of joy that I birthed, it literally, I know this is weird, it smelled like a newborn baby. I kid you not. Like, I still don't really understand that, but to me, with that knowledge, it told me that being that there was no scent to it, that was probably some dead tissue that was being passed out of my whoo-hoo. But yeah, apparently I was holding some trauma and I was holding some junk. Even though I'm pretty in alignment, actually I am in alignment with my health standards and etc., not to get too personal, that's what came out of me. So imagine somebody who's sick, like for real. But that's why I also wanted to show you guys my results too, because in general, I'm learning that Americans don't regularly detox, and I'm not really sure what that is. I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention to the detox trends on TikTok, but apparently people are detoxing parasites, and I want to try that. Also in Eastern culture, it's known for women to practice yoni steaming and detoxing like this before and after pregnancy, which is not something that they communicate or advocate in Western culture. Now, how is it that we are delivering whole humans and we have afterbirth as well? So not only are you delivering a child, you're delivering afterbirth or dead tissue from your child's womb after you have this kid. So women in this country or in Western culture are walking around with dead tissue and who knows what from whatever else just stuck up there. Feminine favorites that I really, advise you guys use or at least try them out. Here's another screenshot of these boric acid suppositories that I found, and let me tell you, okay, let me tell you, boric acid is a lady's best friend. Like, as I mentioned, your pH and other things can get thrown off for so many reasons. It doesn't even have to be because you are entangled with something or someone. A lot of the times it's just your hormones, it's the things that you eat, and it's how you in general take care of your body. It has nothing to do, well, at least 100%, it doesn't always have to do with what people think it has to do with. Women are very sensitive to everything. Women, we suck up energy. That's what we do. We are emotional beings. And a lot of things can just get thrown out of alignment when you're not taking care of yourself and when other people just don't care. So I highly recommend, whether you are in relationship or not, to definitely utilize these. Aside, you want to make sure you're drinking water, eating the right probiotics, or taking the right probiotics, vitamins, etc. But it's just like an additional supplemental booster that you can use, and that would make you feel better. I think it also helps to regulate your hormones as well. So I highly recommend. That was something I also found that I really liked. And there was one more thing that I feel like I wanted to tell you guys. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is I used to use toxic chemicals in my hoo-hoo all the time, okay? I did not even know what I was doing. Tampax Pearl and a lot of our mainstream feminine products have chlorine in them. I don't know if you guys know that, but chlorine is a chemical that's found in a pool. Aside of that, we're taking those chemicals and we're inserting it into our sacred womb space, which it's not designed to be there. So of course it looks like regular cotton, but these things are saturated with chemicals to create better performance for our needs. And they also just keep us coming back more. I feel like the additive of chlorine and whatever else is put into our feminine products actually just makes it so that we rely on the products more than we should. Once I stepped away from using the standard brands that we typically use, like Playtex and Tampax Pearl and all of those things, I stopped having cramps. So want to put you guys on. I know my cousin specifically, she uses this brand, and honestly, I started with this brand. There are tons of brands that you can use that are now more mainstream. Like I believe the Honey Pot has like sensitive organic liners and feminine products. My favorite company personally, I love Rael feminine products. I really like their feminine wash, which is all organic and essential, and I used to use that feminine wash a lot until I realized that essential oils can also be damaging because they are very powerful and they get rid of a lot of the good bacteria that's down there. So when you're on your detox, whether you're steaming or whether you're doing the pearl, I highly recommend that you use all organic natural cotton chlorine-free liners. You see how this says chlorine-free? I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are the liners. I also use the pads. I mean, it's different for everyone, but these are the kind that I use. So you can't really be sensitive about these things when you want to improve and you want to maintain and take care of yourself. It's no big deal. And if anybody ever makes you feel bad about wanting to take care of yourself, kick them to the curb because they're probably making you sick. It's not Maybelline, it's Mother's Worth. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh wait, I want to give a shout out to my friend. I want to give a shout out to my friend Tony. She's a fashion designer, legitimately. She's not on Instagram, like we went to school together. She's a fashion designer. This is her shirt. It's from her brand. It's called Fresh Rhythmic Chill. This was a shirt that I really wanted from her brand and I really loved it. It says cut off. If you guys are interested, go check out her shop. She designs all of these illustrations and pictures and everything all by herself. She also sources and manufactures everything by herself. So if you guys want to go support a beautiful Black woman with her own business, I highly recommend you go check out Tony's.